Hello, how are you?
Okay.
I get to.
We're gonna what?
Yeah, so he's not here.
Okay, we'll just go look if he showed
There he
up.
is. He's right there.
Oh, he just showed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
I'll wait.
Okay.
Hi, Senator Becker.
Yeah, yeah. Very earnest.
Hi there.
This home? How's it going? Good to see you. Where do you want me? Oh, perfect. Knock him dead,
All right.
but with love.
Hi, everyone. I think we're going to get started now. So welcome. Thank you all for being here today. I'm Kimber McCarthy, the City Manager of Mountain View. And today we are launching an innovative pilot program called ElevateMV that will change people's lives in Mountain View. It was May of 2021 when our City Council approved moving forward on exploring this groundbreaking concept of a guaranteed basic income pilot program to bring here to Mountain View. Our staff have worked tirelessly this past year to create and implement this pilot program. Now, this is a 2-year-long pilot program that will give direct cash payments with no strings attached of $500 a month to 166 families in Mountain View. These are randomly selected and extremely low-income families. I can't go without saying how this is such an extraordinary partnership between public and private organizations, educational institutions, and nonprofit organizations that have come together to really create and make this program possible in Mountain View. Now, part of that creativity and innovation is in how people will be able to spend the money. They will have autonomy and flexibility to spend the money as they choose, so they can manage their own finances based on their own needs. So I first want to thank our City Council for their strong vision and leadership in making this possible and in trusting staff to develop this pilot. Mayor Lucas Ramirez, who you will hear from soon, Vice Mayor Allison Hicks, Council Member Margaret Abekoga, who brought this concept forward to Council, and Council Members Pat Showalter, Sally Lieber, and Ellen Kamei. I also want to recognize and thank Senator Josh Becker, Assembly Member Mark Berman, and also Nicholas Hargis from Congresswoman Anna Eshu's office for their support of this program. Then I also want to thank our many partners. This program would not have been possible without the collaboration and time and work between so many people. Mayors for a Guaranteed Basic Income and former Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs. Stanford University Basic Income Lab. The Jane Family Institute. The Community Services Agency, who we are so proud and happy to run this program for us and partner with them once again. They'll be supported by the YMCA and Community Financial Services. The University of Pennsylvania Center for Guaranteed Income Research. Mountain View Wisman School District and Mountain View Los Altos School District. And our lived experience advisors, Paula Perez and Rajiv Sediner. Additionally, we are grateful to the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, who gave the city a $100,000 grant for this pilot program. I also want to thank and recognize our creative and resourceful staff. They have put in countless hours over this past year. They've been tireless in bringing this program to life. They include our 2 project leads standing right over here, Assistant to the City Manager Kimberly Thomas, and our Economic Vitality Manager John Lang. They were supported by Harsha Ramchandani and many other staff. So here's what's going to happen next. Starting tomorrow, September 16th, there's a 10-day application period that opens. It begins at 8 a.m. and it runs through midnight on Sunday, September 25th. These are online applications only. However, we know that this might be tough for some people, and so that's why we have set up application support hubs at various locations throughout the city. This includes our library, our community center, and we're going to be providing hands-on support at those hubs in 4 languages: English, Spanish, Chinese, and Russian. So we know that COVID-19 has exposed just how fragile people's finances are at this time. There's far too many families across the United States and our region that are struggling. So what you see in this program is the City of Mountain View taking action. We aim to lift up some of the most vulnerable community members in Mountain View. I would now like to introduce and invite our Mayor, Lucas Ramirez, to come to the podium and say a few words.
Thank you, Kimbra. Good afternoon. My name is Lucas Ramirez, and I have the honor to serve as the mayor of Mountain View this year. As the city manager said, ElevateMV is about lifting Mountain View families up and out of poverty. I'm grateful to my colleagues on the City Council for supporting a guaranteed basic income pilot program for extremely low-income families, and to Councilmember Margaret Abikoga in particular for bringing this innovative idea to the Council's attention. The cost of living in Mountain View is distressingly high. The average price of a single-family home is $2.9 million. 56% of Mountain View residents are renters. According to the 2020 American Community Survey, 6.5% of our city's residents live in poverty. With inflation exacerbating financial hardship, our ElevateMV Guaranteed Basic Income Pilot Program will provide desperately needed relief for many extremely low-income families in our community. To be eligible for the ElevateMV program, participants must be Mountain View residents. They must be considered extremely low income, which is below 30% of the area median income. For example, a family of 4 would have to make $50,550 or less per year to qualify for the pilot. Participants must be a parent or custodial caretaker for at least 1 child under the age of 18 or pregnant at the time of application. Immigration status or housing situation are not factors for eligibility. In all, there will be approximately 166 qualifying families who will be randomly selected to participate. ElevateMV allows participants to decide how best to use the monthly direct cash payment and address their most urgent needs. Studies of guaranteed basic income programs in other cities have found that recipients will often use the money to pay for medical prescriptions they haven't been able to fill, buy needed clothing and shoes for their children, or get dental care. Through the 2-year-long pilot, we aim to empower these families by improving their financial security through monthly direct cash payments of $500. Breaking the cycle of poverty isn't simple, and that's why Mountain View is on the forefront of trying innovative approaches to solve difficult issues. It is my pleasure now to invite State Senator Josh Becker to the podium. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I want to first thank Lucas and the City Council for this pioneering effort and to have the vision to make this possible. So please, round of applause. It's wonderful to be here, and I mean that very directly. I was in the Midwest this weekend with some of the Midwest weather. So it's really beautiful to be here at Mountain View. This is an incredible location. And as Lucas was talking, I was thinking, around 10 years ago, I had a nonprofit Full Circle Fund, and there's a guy, Maurice Lim, Dr. Maurice Lim, who founded the Family Independence Initiative, and he did some of that first work. And I remember thinking back to this, and I was thinking back again while Lucas was speaking, that this is what it first worked. So when you give low-income folks money, direct money, rather than prescriptive top-down programs, they will use their own networks, they will use their own expertise to lift themselves out of poverty. And then Michael Tubbs, of course, really captured everyone's imagination, really captured the nation's imagination in Stockton. And now to see these programs grow is incredibly exciting, because Assemblymember Berman and myself, we represent a lot of cities. And what's great when you represent a lot of cities in the peninsula with smart, innovative leaders is they get to experiment. They get to try things. And then we can all see, the other cities can see, okay, how's it working? And we have to look at the data. If this doesn't work, okay, we'll try something else. But we can look at this data now and say, okay, is this working? And let's compare it. What is South San Francisco doing? What is Mountain View doing? And then how can we roll this out? Because as I think we'll see, and the data showed so far, when we give low-income people the money themselves, they will figure out, based on their own experience, how to use it to lift themselves out of poverty. So I guess with that, I'll close. There was a quote from Martin Luther King. He said, somewhere along the line, we must learn there's nothing greater than do something for others. And when you're a public official, you think about that a lot. You think about, okay, what is going to enable true economic mobility? What is going to enable people to really grow and see their dreams come true for their families, for their children? And this is the kind of program that can do that, can give people the breathing room to invest in their own health, their kids' health, invest in their education and their kids' education. And I look forward to seeing the results. So I want to thank, again, the partner organizations, Community Services Agency, with support from the YMCA and Community Financial Resources. I know a program like this is a lot of work, and it was great to hear Lucas go through the details of it, the implementation of it all. But I just want to thank and congratulate everyone for the great work. And I'm looking forward, I'm super excited, I'm looking forward to see the results. And with that, I'd like to turn over to my colleague in the state legislature, Mark Berman, who represents this area with me, to make some more remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Becker, and I too first want to applaud the City of Mountain View and Community Service Agency on the launch of ElevateMV. We all know that we live in two Silicon Valleys. We have constituents who have attained enormous wealth, sums of money they could never spend in their lifetime. But more common is the constituent who hardly makes enough to afford a roof over their head and food on the table, no matter how hard they work. And for many of them, no matter how hard they work at 2 or 3 jobs. With the ever-present challenges that stem from the high cost of living in the Bay Area, too many families are living under constant financial strain to cover the regular expenses, like we heard, I think, from the mayor, including housing, health care, and medications, child care, food, and commute expenses. And an unforeseen expense, and even a minor illness or a car accident, can completely derail a family's stability. Not only will ElevateMV provide desperately needed assistance to 166 families in Mountain View, it will also provide important data that can be used to help unlock the immense potential that guaranteed basic income programs offer. Guaranteed basic income has potential to help individuals and families navigate and prioritize on their own terms, like's been said before. And there are pilots and programs around the state, the country, and the world that are looking at different scales and scopes by which such a concept could be applied for the largest impact. How fortunate are we to have a pilot at the local level here in Mountain View from which to learn and inform innovative approaches to providing families relief. So kudos again to Mayor Ramirez and to the whole City Council and City staff, so many people who have been involved in creating ElevateMV. And I was really struck by the thoughtfulness that the city manager talked about in terms of the outreach that they're doing to make sure that all families in Mountain View know about it. It sounds like every kind of detail has really been thought through. So just really excited to see this program roll out. And next up, I would like to introduce Brandy Jotamani, the Community Service Agency's Director of Client Programs.
Good afternoon, everybody. Helping our neighbors in need through difficult times is not new for CSA. For 65 years, CSA has served low-income, unhoused, and senior members of the community of Mountain View, Los Altos, and Los Altos Hills. from serving migrant farm workers in the early days to fighting the impacts of economic crises ranging from stagflation to the dot-com bust to the Great Recession. CSA has been there for those in need every step of the way. Therefore, it is with great enthusiasm that CSA partners with the City of Mountain View, Community Financial Resources, the Center for Guaranteed Income Research, and Mayors for a Guaranteed Income to embark on this exciting journey of assisting our most vulnerable neighbors with a guaranteed monthly income for the next 2 years. We are honored to be a part of this important work. And with that, it is my pleasure to invite our lived experience advisor, Ms. Paula Perez.
Buenas tardes a todos los presentes. Mi nombre es Paula Pérez y vivo aquí en MountainView y trabajo desde hace 23 años. Soy una líder comunitaria y cofundadora de Fondo de Solidaridad de MountainView. Es un honor para mí haber participado como asesora de experiencias vividas en representación de todo el grupo de Fondo de Solidaridad.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Perez. I have lived and worked in Mountain View for 23 years. I am a community member and co-founder of the Mountain View Solidarity Fund. It is an honor for me to have participated as a life experience advisor on behalf of the entire Solidarity Fund group.
La relación establecida como líderes y la comunidad a través de los años nos da la oportunidad de conocer y entender los desafíos financieros que enfrentan las familias de ingresos extremadamente bajos.
The relationship established between us as leaders and within the community over the year give us the opportunity to get to know and understand the financial challenges faced by extremely low-income families.
Yo sé que para una familia de clase trabajadora con ingresos extremadamente bajos es muy difícil salir adelante, ganarse la vida y pensar en el futuro, ya que estas familias se ven afectadas de manera desproporcionada por una amplia gama de desafíos financieros. Por ejemplo, ingresos limitados para saldar sus gastos, principalmente el alquiler, el pago de servicios públicos, comprar comida, tener un seguro médico y más. Además de la escasez financiera o recursos limitados, estas familias se enfrentan altos niveles de estrés y problemas de salud mental y física.
I know that it's very difficult for a working class family with extremely low income to get by, make a living and think about the future, as these families are disproportionately affected by a wide range of financial challenges. For example, limited income to pay for expenses such as rent, utilities, food, health insurance, and more. In addition to financial hardship or limited resources, these families face high-level stress and mental and physical health issues.
Yo quise formar parte de este programa piloto ElevateMV de la ciudad como asesora de experiencias vividas, porque como líder tengo el privilegio de trabajar muy de cerca con las familias de la comunidad y al mismo tiempo he vivido las mismas experiencias porque somos parte de la misma comunidad.
I wanted to be part of the City Elevate's Mountain View pilot program as a life experience advisor because as a leader, I have the privilege of working closely with the families in the community. And at the same time, I have lived the same experiences because we are part of the same community.
Estoy en contacto directo con nuestra comunidad y eso me permite escuchar y conocer esas experiencias muy de cerca. Quise estar en este grupo para dar a conocer cuáles son las formas más efectivas de llegar a la comunidad. También queríamos que nuestras experiencias fueran tomadas en cuenta.
I am in direct contact with our community, and that allows me to hear and know these experiences very closely. I wanted to be in this group to let people know what are the most effective ways to reach out to the community, and we also wanted our experiences to be taken into account.
Este programa piloto marcará la diferencia porque el pago de $500 mensuales que recibirán las familias beneficiadas escogidas al azar será como un aumento en sus ingresos, el cual les ayudará a cubrir parte de lo que les hace falta en términos monetarios.
The pilot program will make a difference because 500 monthly payment that randomly selected beneficiary families will receive represent an increase in their income, which will help them cover part of what they are lacking financially.
Este programa invertirá en el empoderamiento económico de las familias con ingresos extremadamente bajos, abordando la profunda desigualdad de ingresos y riquezas en nuestra sociedad y ayudará al crecimiento económico inclusivo.
This program will invest in the economic empowerment of extremely low-income families by addressing the deep inequities of income and wealth in our society and will help to have an inclusive economic growth.
Por último, este beneficio traerá tranquilidad a las familias y sin duda alguna mejorará la salud mental y física de ellas. Y por consecuencia tendremos familias y comunidades más saludables.
Finally, this benefit will bring peace of mind to families and with no doubt will improve their mental and physical health. As a result, we will have healthier families and communities.
En nombre de todo el Grupo de Fondo de Solidaridad, damos muchas gracias por el apoyo técnico que se brindará a la comunidad en el proceso de solicitud. Gracias especialmente a este consejo presente aquí y a todo el personal de la ciudad que estuvo involucrado en el desarrollo y creación de este programa. Este programa realmente hará la diferencia en Mountain View. Gracias.
Thank you very much for the technical support that will be provided to the community in the application process. The Solidarity Fund gives thank you to all of you. Thank you to the council, to the city staff, for making this program possible. This program will make a difference in the community. So now I want to go back to Kimber McCarthy, please. Thank you.
Thank you, gracias, Paula. And thank you, Nancy Ducos, our amazing multicultural engagement program coordinator. So as you've heard, ElevateMV brings a message of hope to the low-income families here in Mountain View, a message that we see you and we want you to thrive. So with that, we are open to questions, and I'd also like to invite staff to join me up here in case there are some technical questions that you might be able to help with. Are there any questions?
So in terms of the application, maybe out from the 16th to the 25th, is there any kind of benefits for people to apply like the first day as opposed to like ranked order of application?
So the question was, is there any benefit to the order of when someone might apply, whether they apply sooner or later? And the answer is no. Once all the applications come in, it's a completely randomized selection that the University of Pennsylvania's Guaranteed Basic Income Program is helping with. So you have just as the same chance if you apply tomorrow versus the last day at 11:59 p.m. Okay, the question is UPenn doing the study and where is the data being collected? I'm going to ask staff to help answer that question.
Good afternoon. Kimberly Thomas, Assistant to the City Manager. University of Pennsylvania Center for Guaranteed Income Research will control all of the data and have it all secure. So that will be in Pennsylvania, but we are in constant contact with them as a part of this project.
The question is, how will we have proof that someone is a citizen or resident of Mountain View? So as was stated, this program is open to anyone regardless of their immigration status, and the proof of residency can be any variety of forms, whether it be a picture ID or bill or some sort of proof that they are just living here in Mountain View. So we're really trying to be as flexible as possible, but you do have to prove that you live in Mountain View, but regardless of any immigration status. Yes, so the question is, are people that live in oversized vehicles in Mountain View able to participate in the program? And the answer is yes. Anyone who is a resident of Mountain View is able to participate. And as I mentioned, the folks that are going to be helping people with the registration are going to do their best to be very flexible to get information from residents as to where they live, and that is open to people that are living in oversized vehicles. So the question is, how is that process going to go for that specific group of people? So the great partnership that we have with the Community Services Agency and some of our lived experience advisors, as well as some of our other partners, we know very well who a lot of the residents are that live in oversized vehicles. And so again, we will do our best to be very flexible and work with those people who may not have a specific address, but that we do know are residents of Mountain View. Any other questions?
Yeah, just a little bit more about, I guess, the end game. Once this 2-year pilot program ends, what kind of plans are underway right now to look kind of beyond that, especially once people kind of get accustomed to having this extra budget?
So the question is, what's the end game after 2 years, and especially if people get used to the direct monthly payment. So this is something that I think a lot of the pilot programs around the country are really analyzing. This is part of the data, how this will help lift people out of poverty, how this helps the economic situation in Mountain View. So this is a pilot program with an end date of 2 years. So the council would likely assess at that time if the pilot program were to continue, but right now, it really is about getting the money in the hands of the people that need it. And over the next 2 years, we're really going to study hopefully the positive effects of that and how it really helps lift people out of poverty.